How about this type of disruption? This is where um, I don't want to talk about Kenyan Gen Zs. I want to talk about what we've already seen in other countries. In South Africa, we already had major learning disruption of universities 7 years ago. This was 2015 and 2016. All the universities in South Africa were having major disruptions. Students disrupting your class, occupy class. So this is not just people making noise. They actually elbow you out and take the platform and start yelling slogans. Okay, what are you going to do now? And this happened for, I think it was about a year or maybe a bit less, but it was late 2015 and sometime in 2016. If you go online and search hashtag fees must fall, you'll see quite a lot of videos there of what happened in the universities there. I was just checking the data earlier this morning as I was preparing for this, and I saw some report that the total amount of damage in South African universities because of this student activism was up to 600 million rand. I did a quick calculation, and that's about 4.5 billion Kenya shillings. That's a lot of money. If you give people an average salary of say 50K per month, then you could actually pay 1,000 people salaries for 7 years. That was my quick calculation. Anyway, I was just trying to make sense of how much money was lost in damages when large groups of students come together for a cause. It may be a genuine cause. There's likely to be a lot of property damage, and of course, disrupted classrooms, disrupted teaching and learning activities, and that's what happened in South Africa. So we could want to learn from that past experience as we prepare for our own here. So what will you do when students take over your class? Well, there are many things to say here, but I would say the most important is safety first. Safety. So the number one thing is not my class at this point. It's not my learning outcomes. It's not my course outline. It's not the timetable, the schedule. No, it's my safety and the safety of the students. So whatever steps I will take now will relate to safety. This class should not go on. Of course, it has to be cancelled. You can cancel it quietly by simply walking out. You need not be here at all. But if you notice that some students' lives are in danger, you may want to protect them or help them get out or show them the way out or do something so that you are not the captain of the ship that bailed out fast. Whatever you do, safety first, including your own safety. Okay, that's number one. Number two is you should handle this situation together with other people, the other stakeholders, university management, security department, the management of your school. Okay, that's why it's extremely important for us to have certain telephone numbers always ready, easily available on our phone. Do you have a phone number for the security people? The ones who are sitting down there at the entrance of your building? Do you know how you could quickly contact them? Let's find that out. How about the medical center? Do you have a quick emergency number that you can dial from your phone? Do you have it? Set it up now. How about the manager of your school, the admins and so on? Are you able to call them at short notice? Do they pick your calls when you call? Why not? Do they have your number so that it shows, it displays on their screen when you call? All right, I want to move on. So last Friday when we did this session, I just put this up just before class, just before this session, because where I live in a university community, and the students the night before threatened us. Well, they didn't threaten us. They issued a notice of occupy my neighborhood, and they did. And these pictures came in quite just before my session on Friday on this disruption issue. So there was a mail that they had written to all their peers the night before in the community. We get these on our WhatsApps and so on. Be careful as you're walking around the town, the students are out. So this is the student leader telling the entire student body of their university that the following day, Friday the 12th of July, they were going to have a demonstration in our neighborhood, explaining why, the time, the place they will meet. What's interesting for us is the very last sentence there. If you go to the last paragraph and read, the student leader says, "In the same accord with powers vested in me by our Constitution, I hereby suspend all school activities for effective participation in the demonstration." So it's important for you and I to know that your class could be cancelled by students, and you'll only see it in the WhatsApp groups. You won't know. And then later you can see the students there on the road. They had blocked the highway. They were doing press-ups. They were playing soccer. So the disruption goes far beyond classroom. Sometimes I don't know if my daughter realizes that this could be very risky for her life. But they have their own course that they are chasing, and that's okay. So major disruption involves external stakeholders. We have to involve external stakeholders. And there are many examples of major disruption. There's a picture there on the left of the screen. This can happen. Suddenly there's huge construction happening and noise. This has happened to me in my class. It was one time I don't know what was happening in the neighboring building. There was so much noise, some construction going on. You could argue it's not major because you could send the module leader or some other student to go and request that they stop the construction. You could call the manager and find out whether we could move the class elsewhere. Whatever the case, the reason for putting it here as major disruption is because it involves external stakeholders. Could be a violent attack, God forbid, but political activism, takeover, Occupy Strathmore could easily happen.